You finally hit it. 3 months of expenses, maybe 6, sitting in a high-yield account, not moving. You did what most people never do. You built the floor. You closed the gap between one bad month and financial disaster. And now you're doing something I see all the time. You're waiting. Not waiting for an emergency, waiting to figure out what comes next. My friend, that pause is the most expensive moment in your entire financial life. Not the debt you had, not the years you didn't invest. This moment, right here, when the work is done and the next step isn't obvious. That's what we're solving today. There's a pattern I call the completion illusion. When you finish a hard financial goal, paying off a card, building a fund, closing a loan, your brain registers it as done. And done feels like rest is appropriate. It's not a discipline failure, it's neurology. The same reward system that told you to keep going now tells you to stop and breathe. The problem is that wealth doesn't respect that pause. Every day your money sits in an emergency fund beyond what you actually need. It's losing ground, not dramatically, quietly, the way inflation works, the way opportunity cost works. No alarm goes off, no notification, just slow erosion. Think about that. Most people who finally build a fully funded emergency fund leave it fully funded and then add to it for months, sometimes years, because the alternative feels risky and unclear. That's the trap. The emergency fund was never meant to be the destination. It was the foundation. And you don't live in a foundation, you build on it. Today, we're building. Before I walk you through the exact sequence, I want to know where you are. Drop a comment, one word or one number. If you're still building your emergency fund, building. If you just hit your target and you're figuring out the next step, closed. If you hit it months ago and haven't moved yet, stuck. I read every comment, and I guarantee the majority of people watching this right now are in that third category, which means this video is for you. Decision 1, right-size the fund first. Here's the first mistake people make after the fund closes. They assume the number they built to is the number they should keep. It's not always true. The standard advice, 3 to 6 months of expenses, is a range, not a rule. And that range was designed for the average worker with average stability. If you have a salaried job with strong employer stability, a working partner, and no dependents, 3 months is likely sufficient. If you're self-employed, commission-based, or in a volatile industry, 6 months is minimum, maybe 9. Here's the framework. Ask yourself 3 questions. How long would it realistically take you to replace your income? Not in a perfect scenario, in a realistic one. If the answer is more than 60 days, keep 6 months. Do you have a second income source in the household? If yes, your risk floor drops. You may only need 3 to 4 months. Are you carrying high-interest debt right now? If the answer is yes and your emergency fund is 6 months when 3 would cover you, the excess is costing you in lost debt payoff velocity. Right-sizing isn't reducing your safety. It's being precise about what safety actually costs you. That's the difference between a financial plan and financial emotion. Once you know your correct number, anything above that is deployable capital. That's where the next decision begins. This is where most people freeze. They know they have extra money. They don't know where it goes first. And because they don't know, it doesn't go anywhere. Let me give you the sequence, not as universal law, as a logical framework for the majority of late starters in their 35-55 plus range. Step 1, employer match, always first. If your employer matches 401k contributions and you're not capturing the full match, that is a guaranteed 50-100% return on the dollars you put in. Nothing else in personal finance offers that. Nothing. Capture the full match before anything else moves. Step 2, high-interest debt. Anything above 7 or 8% interest, Consumer debt, credit cards, personal loans gets paid before you invest further. The math is simple. If the debt costs you 9% and the market returns 7%, you're losing 2% every year you carry it. Pay the debt. Step 3. Tax-advantaged accounts. After debt is controlled and the match is captured, Roth IRA, HSA, maxing 401k contributions. These are not investments. They are tax structures that make your investments more efficient. Prioritize the structure before the investment inside it. Step 4. Taxable brokerage. Only after the above are handled. Index funds, broad market exposure, long-term compounding. This is not a revelation. The sequence has existed for decades. What's missing for most people isn't the knowledge, it's the moment of decision. The specific day they stop treating it as a future plan and make it a current action. That day is today. If this is landing, stay with me. The last part is where most people drop the sequence entirely, and it has nothing to do with money. I'm going to be direct about this. The reason most people do not follow through on the capital allocation sequence is not confusion, it's friction. Every month they intend to move the money, and every month something else happens first. A bill, a decision, a distraction, and the money stays in the checking account, slowly being absorbed by lifestyle. The fix is not more discipline, the fix is fewer decisions. Automate the transfer. Set a recurring movement of capital, from checking to Roth, from checking to brokerage, from checking to debt payoff, to happen automatically the day after your income hits. You cannot spend what isn't there. This is not a financial insight, it is a psychological one. The most behaviorally sound financial strategy is the one that requires the least ongoing decision-making. Because decisions are fragile, automation is not. Here's the specific action. Open your bank or brokerage account. Today, not this week. Today. Set one automatic transfer. 1. If you're at step 1 in the sequence, set an automatic 401k contribution increase to capture your full employer match. If you're at step 3, schedule a monthly Roth IRA contribution, even $100. The habit matters more than the amount at this stage. The transfer amount can grow, the mechanism just has to exist. Stop for a moment. How many times have you told yourself you'd sort this out later? And how much has later cost you? The sequence doesn't need to be perfect, it needs to be running. Here's what I want you to understand about everything we've covered. The emergency fund was not the goal. It was permission. Permission to stop operating from fear. Permission to stop making financial decisions from a defensive posture, protecting what you have instead of building what you want. Most people in the wealth-building conversation are playing defense their entire financial lives because the floor never got built. The cushion was never there. One unexpected expense, and the entire strategy collapses. You built the floor. That changes the nature of every financial decision going forward. When you invest now, you're not gambling with survival money. You're deploying surplus capital with a safety net beneath it. When you take on a calculated risk, a new business move, a career decision, a real estate play, you're not doing it exposed. You're doing it insulated. The emergency fund didn't just protect you from catastrophe, it changed who you are in the financial conversation. That's not motivational language, that's structural reality. The people who build wealth consistently are not smarter than you. They are not luckier than you. They built a floor earlier, and then deployed capital from a position of stability instead of desperation. You're now in that position. The question is what you do with it. Before we wrap this up, remember this. The day your emergency fund closes isn't when the money runs out. It's when you stop seeing what your money is actually doing. That loss of visibility is the real danger. And it's exactly why we built the Trip to Wealth Command Center. It's a Google Sheets system that brings your income, spending, investing, and net worth into one place, your personal strategy hub. A control panel built to expose leaks, surface growth opportunities, and show how small decisions compound into real wealth over time. Because what gets measured compounds. The early access list is open now. Early supporters get a discount, but more importantly, they get their control panel back. Knowledge doesn't compound, action does. Let me close with this. There are 3 types of people who will finish this video. The first type will nod, save it, share it, and come back to this conversation in 6 months, still in the same position. The second type will start the process. They'll open a tab, look at their 401k, think about setting a transfer, and get interrupted, and never come back. The third type will pick one action from this video, just one, and execute it before midnight. Right-size the fund, that's one action. Set the automatic transfer, that's one action. Capture the employer match, that's one action. I'm not asking you to overhaul your financial life today. I'm asking you to make the one decision that proves you're serious about the next chapter. Because the emergency fund already proved you can build. Now, deploy. Drop your comment below. I read every single one. Your answers tell me exactly what to build next for you. And if this helped, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.